Hi everyone, welcome back. In recent years, we've seen a noticeable change in some of the world's most expensive cities. People are sharing bedrooms, and sometimes even beds. As housing gets more expensive, people are finding new ways to share the space they can afford. In Sydney, for example, a 2024 investigation reported severe overcrowding. One two-bedroom apartment where 20 people were living, and in the survey behind the report, around 28 of the tenants were sharing a bedroom with two or more people. And this isn't just happening in Australia. In the United States, more states are looking at shared housing and micro units as a way to make housing more affordable. In 2024, Colorado, Hawaii, and Washington all passed legislation related to share house or micro units. And when I started looking for a place in Vancouver, this stopped feeling like something happened somewhere else. I'm living in a share house myself, and during my research, I came across rental listing offering not just the shared bedrooms, but even shared beds. Literally means sharing one bed with another person, and that made me wonder, when house getting this expensive, are we no longer just asking how much does a home cost? Are we starting to ask how much privacy I can afford? And maybe something bigger like, why has having a private space become so expensive? Or what are we actually trying to build when we build a life? We often talk about housing as if it's just another expense, but it's not. It's the foundation underneath almost everything else. In Canada, households spend an average of $76,000 on goods and services in 2023, and shared alone accounted for 33% of that spending. Transportation took another 15%, food took 15%. Together, those three categories made up more than 6% of household consumption. And that's before we even talk about education, healthcare, childcare, debt, or simply having a little fun. So when people work harder and harder, it's not necessarily because they are greedy. Sometimes they're simply paying the cost of participating in modern life. But money isn't the only thing we pay. We also pay with time, and time is sometimes we can't earn back. Statistics Canada's 2022 Time Use Survey gave us a useful picture. On average, Canadians spend about 3.5 hours a day on paid work, over 3 hours on unpaid work, and only about less than 3 hours on leisure. Of course, these are average across people's entire days and different activities, but the bigger picture is pretty simple. A day is still on 24 hours. Technology can make many things faster, but it can't make a day longer. So maybe the real question isn't how much can we own? Maybe it is, how much our life do we actually have left to live? Cause here's the strange thing, we spend so much of our lives trying to acquire things, a better apartment, better car, better phone, better job, better house, and there's nothing wrong with wanting any of these things. We need money, we need shelter, we need security, but at some point, I started wondering, are we confusing having more with having more choice? Imagine someone who earns a lot of money but can't leave their jobs, can't move, can't take time off, can't experience something new, can't spend time with the people they care about. They may have a lot of possessions, but how many choices do they actually have? Now imagine someone with fewer possessions, but with a skill they can take anywhere, a language they can speak, a profession they can change, the ability to learn, the ability to create. Maybe they own lives, but they have more possible lives. And now AI adds another layer to this question. AI can help us work from almost anywhere. It can translate languages, teach us new skills, help us create things, analyze info, and maybe eventually make some forms of work far less dependent on location. But there's something AI can't give us. It can't experience a life for us. It can tell you where the most beautiful place in the world is, but it can't stand there for you. It can generate a painting, but it can't experience what it feels like when you finally create something yourself. It can analyze the cost and benefit of a decision, but it can't decide what kind of life is worth living. That part is still ours. Maybe we've been thinking about scarcity in the wrong way. We talk about limited land, limited housing, limited energy, limited resources, but there may be another resource that's even more limited: our attention, our time, our ability to experience things. And maybe that's why simply own more doesn't necessarily solve the problem. You can own a bigger house and still have no time to enjoy it. You can own a better phone and still have no one to call. You can earn more money and still feel like your life belongs to someone else. And this is where things get a little more complicated. The 2025 World Happiness Report looked at something surprisingly ordinary: eating together. Researchers analyzed data from 142 countries and territories, and people who shared more meals with others tended to report higher life satisfaction and more positive emotions. I'm not saying everyone needs to sit around a dinner table to be happy. That's not the point. The interesting part is that some things don't become less valuable just because technology makes everything else more efficient. You can automate a task, you can work remotely, you can communicate with someone on the other side of the world. You can even ask AI to generate something for you. But some experiences still have to be lived, and maybe that's another kind of scarcity we're dealing with. So maybe the question isn't whether we should earn more. Of course, we need things. We need homes, money, infrastructure, technology. These things give us security. But maybe security isn't the final destination. Maybe it's supposed to give us something else: the freedom to choose, the freedom to move, the freedom to learn, create, spend time with people we care about, the freedom to experience something we've never experienced before. Maybe the goal isn't to own the biggest possible piece of the world. Maybe it's to have more possible ways to live in it. Maybe that's what we're really trying to build when we build a life. Not just a house, not just a career, not just a bank account, but a life with enough room for possibility. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and save this video. I'll see you in the next one.